Good morning, students. We were discussing executive chapter. So till now we have discussed political executive. Okay, and this is the last part of this chapter. And today we will discuss about permanent executive. There is a difference between political executive and the permanent executive. Okay. Political executives are Prime Minister, President, Council of Minister, Legislature, whoever makes laws. They are the political executive. Now we will discuss about permanent executive. Now the decision and the policies, whatever has been made by the legislature, who implement those policies? So the answer is, for implementing or for the implementation of the policies, permanent executives are required, and these permanent executives are also known as civil servants. Okay, or the civil services. So these civil services or the civil servants are basically for the implementation of the policies. Okay, now in a democratic government, representatives are chosen by the common people. Okay, and the minister or the representatives, they are in charge of the government, and the administration is under their control and supervision. And the administration means the civil services. They are under the control of the representatives and the ministers. So the administrative officers, the civil servants or the officers, they cannot violate the policies which has been adopted by the legislature. Now, who are the administrative officers? What do you understand by the civil servants or the civil services? So you must have heard about competitive exams, right? For the position of IAS, IPS, or the railways, or there are so many competitive exams, right? After class 12, after plus 2, you will also appear. Some of you might be interested in some competitive examination, so that you will get a job as a civil servant. So these civil servant, after passing a certain examination, after giving some tough interviews, then you will be selected as a civil servants. Like we used to say that a government job. Competitive exams are basically for the government jobs. So these government officials or these government servants, these are called the administrative. They implement the policies formed by the legislature or the political parties. Now this administrative or these civil servants or these government officials, they are also known as bureaucracy. Okay, now this bureaucracy should be politically neutral. They cannot favor one political party or the other political party. They always have to be neutral because they works under government control. Because in a democratic country, there will be an election, and it is always possible that a party gets defeated in election and a new government formed. So in such a situation, the responsibility of the administrative machinery should be faithful and efficiently participate in drafting the policy and its implementation. So the administrative workers or the government official or the bureaucracy, they have to be neutral towards the political party. They work for the betterment of the society under the control of the parliament or the political executive. Okay. Now, the Indian bureaucracy today is enormously complex system. It's a difficult system. It consists of all India services, state services, employees of the local government, and technical and managerial staff running public sector undertakings. Like all India services, I already told you, like IAS officer, IPS officer, in state you will find railways, even the teachers, government teachers, plus local employees you will find in panchayat and municipality. You will find BDO, SDO. All of them are under the bureaucracy. Okay, they are the government official. Okay, now in order to everyone has to be selected by the basis of merit. They have to give certain examination, then they have to pass that examination. After passing that examination, there are 2 or 3 rounds of interviews. They have to pass all the interviews. Only after then they will get the job as a civil servant. Okay, so whatever competitive examinations held in India, the responsibility of taking all those examination and the recruitment comes under Union Public Service Commission, UPSC. You will apply as a UPSC commission. Okay, so this is the most important part of Indian bureaucracy. UPSC will take your examination. They will first the forms will be distributed. For competitive examination, you need to fill one form, then you have to pay a certain amount as a fee, and then you will get a examination date. Then you will give your examination. If in case you pass that examination, then again you will get a date for the interview. And so everything has been arranged by this Union Public Service Commission, UPSC. Okay, so the whoever are the member of the Union Public Service Commission, they are appointed for a fixed term. Okay, in India we have a federal system of government, right? There are 2 sorts of government. One is central government and another one is state government. So the central government, you can apply for the central government also, or you can apply for the state government also, but everything will be managed by this UPSC Service Commission. And the member or who appoint the candidates for civil servants, they have been appointed for a fixed term. So the member of the UPSC Service Commission, if there is a removal or the suspension of that particular member, there should be an inquiry made by the judge of the Supreme Court. It's not easy to remove any member of the UPSC. There should be a thorough inquiry made by the judge of the Supreme Court, because whoever will be the member of the UPSC, they will work under the central government. Okay, clear? Now this UPSC will select some candidates for the position, like whatever position were vacant, BDO, SDO, teacher, railway. There are so many examinations, banks, so many examinations are there. Okay, so this recruitment, the constitution, our constitution, Indian constitution has given everyone equal opportunity, right, to be a part of public bureaucracy. We all of us have equal opportunity to have that examination. For this purpose, the constitution has provided certain reservation for jobs, right, for Dalit and Adivasis. Similarly, they have also provided reservation for women and other backward classes. This is because the constitution wanted to have equalities all over India, so that every common people will get a chance to appear in this examination. So all the government officials, they are known as the permanent executive or the bureaucracy. Okay, now the person selected by the UPSC for Indian Administrative Service and the Indian Police Service constitute the backbone of the higher level of bureaucracy in a state. Now, IAS officer and the IPS officers are the highest level of services, highest level of bureaucracy. Okay, only IAS and IPS officer. Then comes all other jobs or all other position. Okay, now you must have heard about the collector of a district, Okay, so that is most important officer of the government at the district level. Now, do you have any idea that the collector, whoever is the collector of the district, he or she was an IAS officer, Indian Administrative Service. The collector of a district, we used to say, no, he is the collector of our district. So that collector is an Indian Administrative Service, IAS officer. Okay, now these IAS and IPS officers are assigned to a particular state where he or she works under the supervision of the state government. However, the IAS and IPS officers are appointed by the central government. They can go back to the services of the central government, and most importantly, only the central government can take disciplinary action against them. Now, this IPS and IAS officer will be recruited by the central government, and they have been assigned their duties in a state government. Okay, so in order to have a certain when some problems arose in that position, they can only be removed by the central government only. There is no works to do by the state government. Being an IAS officer and IPS officer, they will be assigned, they will be like we used to say, no, my father got what do we say, travel from one place to another. That is because his job is over there, but he or she will be elected or selected by the central government only, and they have to work in the state government under the control of central government only. Central will assign and central will select them, and they will work for a state. If there is a removal or something else, then the center will intervene, not the state government. Apart from IAS and IPS officer appointed by the UPSC, the administration of the state is looked after by other officers appointed to the State Public Service Commission. Now, the Union Public Service Commission means the central government, direct interference of central government, and Union Public Service Commission, the member are selected by the central government directly. And there are many other officers who will be selected by the state government, and they will be known as State Public Service Commission, SPSC. Okay, there are many other services, other government officials or the bureaucracy. We will study that in our next chapter, that is federalism. Okay, federalism means division of power between two. Division of power, like the central government and the state government. Power is divided between central government and state government. That is called federation. So in India, we have a federalism. State government has their own rules and regulations, and the central government has their own rules and regulations. But state government always comes under central government. So IAS officer and IPS officer are appointed by the central government, and other officials are appointed by the state government. IAS officer and IPS are the highest level of organization, highest level of bureaucracy. Okay, and everything, whatever examination will be conducted and the recruitment, that will be done by UPSC, Union Public Service Commission, and that is at the central level. Okay, union level, and in the state level you will find State Public Service Commission. Okay, now these people, these officials have to do their job, or have to implement the policy under the control of central government. Okay, this bureaucracy is an instrument through which welfare policies of the government must reach the people, but most often it is so powerful that the people are afraid of approaching a government officer. It is the common experience of the people that bureaucracy is insensitive to the demands and expectation of the ordinary citizen. Only if the democratically elected government control the bureaucracy, some of these problems can be effectively handled. So common people used to get afraid to go to the officers, right? But in a democratic government, if this bureaucracy, if these government officials are under the control of political government, then because political government means we have democracy, we have elected those representatives, and if the government official, if the bureaucracy is under the control of those representatives, then obviously the common people, they can ask for their rights to the bureaucracy, they can go to them. Now, too much political interference turns the bureaucracy into an instrument in the hand of politicians. But sometimes the political leaders, sometimes there was too much of intervention. Like for example, if there is a vacancy arose for the office of BDO, and if there is so much of interference of the political parties, then obviously the member of that political parties or the relative of that particular person, he or she will get the opportunity, not by the common people. So sometimes it's not good to have very much interference by the political party also. Okay, so the constitution has created independent machinery for recruitment. Many people think that there is no provision for protecting the civil servant from political interference in the performance of their duty. It is also felt that enormous provision are not there to ensure the accountability of the bureaucracy to the citizen. There is an expectation that measures like the right to information may make the bureaucracy a little more responsive and accountable. Accountable means answerable. So this bureaucracy has to be answerable to the political parties, okay, and the government. And when there was a recruitment, this bureaucracy should be independent. No one should control the bureaucracy in times of recruitment. If there is no interference from the government, or if there is no interference from the political parties during the time of recruitment, then every common people will have the opportunity to apply for the job. So this is called permanent executive or the bureaucracy. You just have to remember that the permanent executives are the government officials, and the most highest level of organization was IAS and IPS, and every examination will be conducted by Union Public Service Commission, UPSC, basically for IAS and IPS officers, and the member of the UPSCs have a fixed term, and if there was a removal for them, then there will be a thorough inquiry by the judges of the Supreme Court. And in order to have opportunity, government of the constitution has given a certain reservation for the backward classes, for women also, in order to have equality. Okay, so every common people have the right to participate in that examination. Okay, that comes under equal opportunities. Okay, so you just have to remember these points, and this will be okay for permanent executive. You can write in your own words. Okay, so we have completed this chapter. Let's see what we'll do in our next class. Okay.